Hi guys, it's Mrs. Thixton, and I have a video here for you talking about how we are going to create a grid for our tessellations. Creating a grid is going to be an important part of getting us started for this project. So the first thing we need to do is everyone needs to have their ruler and a piece of paper in front of them. So we know that our tessellation piece is going to be a 3-inch square. So we need to take our paper and we need to divide it into a grid that has equal 3-inch square pieces. Now, I have to tell you before we even start working that we will be erasing all of these grid lines that we are going to be making. So when you're working, you want to make sure that you are not pressing too hard, that you press lightly, because if you press hard, you're not going to be able to erase this and it will be frustrating later. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to measure how wide our paper is. Our paper is 9 inches wide. So how many 3-inch squares will fit into our 9-inch paper? So if we take 9 inches divided by our 3-inch squares, we're going to get 3. So we know that we're going to fit 3 of these pieces across the side of our paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a mark at every 3 inches. So making sure that the edge of our paper is even with the edge of our ruler, we're going to make a mark at 3 and a mark at 6. And the next one would be 9, but that's the edge of our paper, so we don't need to make a mark there. So you can see I have these 2 little marks. I'm going to slide my ruler down just a little ways. So slide your ruler down to about halfway across your paper. And we're going to do this again. We're going to make a mark at 3. And we're going to make a mark at 6. Okay. One more time. We're going to slide it down closer to the bottom of the page. And we're going to make a mark at 3. And a mark at 6. So now, when you're looking at your paper, it's kind of hard to see on mine, but when you're looking at your paper, you're going to see that you have 2 sets of three marks. So you're going to take your ruler and carefully line up those sets of marks. And you're going to remember lightly connect those dots with your pencil. Okay? The reason that we made those 3 different marks is because sometimes if we just were to have made that first mark, sometimes it's easy for our ruler to get angled like this. But when we have those 3 that we have to line up, helps keep our ruler straight. So that's a little tip. Okay, so now we're going to slide our ruler over. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay, lining up our marks. Drawing lightly with our pencils, remember. Now we have our paper divided into 3 sections, or 3-inch areas. So now we have to go the other way. So we're going to do the same thing. This time, we need to measure to see how wide our paper is. Our paper is 12 inches wide. So that means 12 divided by our 3-inch squares, we're going to have 4 rows going across. Okay? So we're going to make our mark at 3, our mark at 6. Remember, last time we didn't need to make a mark at 9 because that was the edge of the paper, but this time we do. So mark at 9, and then 12 is our edge of our paper, so we don't need to make a mark there. So I always tell students to do 1 set of marks in your first row. Now I'm going to come down to the second row that I've created. I'm going to do it again, making sure my ruler lines up to the edge of my paper. A mark at 3, a mark at 6, and a mark at 9. Okay, one more time. Here we go. A mark at 3, a mark at 6, and a mark at 9. Okay, now, just like we did last time, we're going to line up our ruler to our marks on our page and lightly create our line. Go to our second one, line up your marks, and lightly create your line. Go to the next one, line up your marks, lightly create your line. So now you should have a grid of 3-inch squares. So you should have 1, 2, 3 across by 1, 2, 3, 4 down. And we will talk about how we're going to use this grid to help us create our tessellations. All right, I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.